brigade. On a more concrete level, you spoke about the tumultuous times and what have you. Politically speaking, we've been through some interesting times lately, and many of the politicians have spoken about systems being broken, things not working in this particular country, and a lot of I think negativity and pessimism has come out of it. However, since this catastrophic hurricane that we recently experienced, Sandy, and also it came to me this evening on the way here actually, this horrible mass shooting of the little children in Connecticut. I'm wondering if somehow there's not, that this all didn't happen as some kind of a preconceived cosmic contract, if you will, leading to cooperative components coming together, because since this has been happening, more positive discussions are occurring now about global warming, about violence, about, and I think if you want to stretch it out a little farther, you could even take it to our overall view of human nature and how we want to relate to one another. And I'm just wondering if you could speak to that at all.
Yes, well, this is one of our favorite topics. And so, the quick and easy part is the yes. There are many, as we have said, that have come in here and they've contracted to help humanity to move forward. And you must understand, and sort of, people need to expand their consciousness a little bit and their mind a little bit to understand that that doesn't always mean that the person comes and holds someone's hand and walks them forward. It also means that there are those who, when they come in, they've contracted to make a sacrifice. Because it is only through these disastrous things that the bigger part of humanity starts to question. The bigger part of humanity starts to come together at the table to say, what is it that we need to do differently? These, again, are things that have happened throughout time. But so often, unless people have been affected by it in their own lives, they just turn their head the other way, so that they didn't have to look, so that they didn't have to feel. How many people say, I do not want to watch these things, and you speak of negativity, and we will address that, but there's a very clear distinction that we wish to make. Because many times people they say they don't want to look at the struggles, they don't want to look at poverty, they don't want to look at the suffering of humanity because they're afraid that it will put them into a negative mindset. They're afraid that it will make them depressed. They're afraid that it will make them too sad, and what we have to say about that is, you need to be sad. You need to look. Because it is only through the looking, it is only through the feeling of the sadness and the suffering of others that you make movement toward change. If you were to look at it in your own personal lives, yes, when you become uncomfortable with something, when something hurts too much in your own life, that is when you begin to change the way that you're going about your life. Likewise, it is only when you allow the reality of the totality of the magnitude of pain and suffering that is occurring on your earthen plane, only then do you begin to stand up and lift your voices. Many people do it behind closed doors in their homes, but they dare not venture out into the world. Because many people become afraid that if they speak too loudly, they may lose their jobs, or they may lose some of their friends, or other things may happen that will make them uncomfortable. But the whole purpose of this is that to create a discomfort so that you can all come together to a better place of comfort. Because where you're finding your comfort from right now is not the true source of comfort. It's not the true place where love resides, where your divinity resides. And you must come back to that, because that is a comfort that you cannot lose. That is a comfort that cannot be taken from you, no matter what changes in the outside world or in what you see with your physical eyes. So there are those who come in specifically for a short period of time, and they offer their lives. And there are others who come in and offer their lives in a different way. They offer their lives by perhaps being those who take other people's lives. And although we understand in your humanness that sometimes when we view these people, you look at them and do not feel the same empathy or compassion that you feel for those whose lives were taken, and we understand. However, what we're saying to you about that is they too made a sacrifice. They too were willing to become these scorned and hated people in order for humanity to evolve its consciousness, to evolve it to a place of returning to each other in a different, more loving, more empowering way. And so these things that, yes, you've seen happening specifically in your region, more and more is happening of, because again, it's happening all over. But you're going to see it in these sort of little regions where it becomes like bursts of things that occur. And mostly, whatever region you're in, you'll notice it more than the others. But the idea is that this is the best way that you're bringing to yourselves to do it, so that there doesn't have to be global, wide, near annihilation. If you do it in the smaller ways, and it bubbles up and bursts, and then these communities can come together. People talking neighbor to neighbor in so many of your places. There are so many of you who do not even know the person that lives next door. Or if you reside in a tenement building, perhaps you don't know those who live above you or below you or beside you. And yes, these things bring people out. They bring people together. And you'll notice that even within the political arenas, things are being shaken up more and more. those who are in power are rattling each other, and those of you who are not in political power are beginning to rattle them. You've seen this around the world lately, in many different ways. And there are those, very few will add, politicians, who are also beginning to get it a little bit more. There are more of those being brought up in the ranks now as we speak. Those who also will touch humanity and not just sit in their offices and make decisions based on ideas of things or based on assisting those in power to maintain all of the power. But let us be clear in saying that the goal isn't for everyone to raise to that place of power, but instead the goal is for all of you together to get inside of this place where true power lives. And out of that it is absolutely possible to create what you would call a utopian society. There are those that exist in other places. And so we know of what we speak. There will be many more sacrifices that will have to be made. Some are already contracted out. Sometimes the contract isn't made before you come in. It is sometimes made once you're here. Whether it's to continue on or whether it's to leave. But make no mistake about it. These occurrences are most unfortunately, at this stage in the game, absolutely essential to assist in that radical shift, in that evolution, in that raising of the consciousness, and in turn raising the frequency also of your physical vehicles. Do you understand?
Yes.